watching, family tales and where you're going, truths you need without the sugar coating. On the mic, yeah, they won't falter, advice they give like a sacred altar. Stories real, you can't ignore them, light and dark, they always explore them.
What's going on, everybody? Here we are. So I've got a frustrating, beginning of this week, and it was end of last week is what it was. That being said, let me tell you a story. So the story I'm going to say, it's not about the money. It's about the principle of it all. The bottom line is I don't like when things are not done correctly. I don't like it when people say one thing and then they do another thing. I don't like it when companies, especially companies that make millions of dollars a year, and I know that a lot of companies claim, especially in the entertainment industry, I know a lot of companies claim that they're, especially like movie theaters, whoa, we've lost this much money, blah, 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 blah. I get it. But by not doing what you say, you end up making people upset, and you end up making where people like me, let's backtrack. I love the movies. I love going to the theaters. I love love going to see a movie in the movie theater. I love the entertainment at all. I love seeing movies. I love the experience of going in there, smelling the popcorn, walking into the theater, sitting down in the comfortable seats. If it's a heated and a laid back seat, I love pushing those buttons. I love getting there, and I love relaxing. It's like an escape for a couple hours from normal life just to have a little bit of fun, right? I love the cinematic view of it all. I love all of that. I love all of that. Now, that being said, if you're a movie theater, a big giant corporation or whatever, and you offer, if you go see X amount of movies, you gain X amount of points. It gives you discounts on food, which we buy the food at the theater. Let me preface this, that when my wife and I go to the theater, we buy the food. We may bring in a couple of little snacks, but I usually will buy a drink. I'll buy some popcorn, because you always have to have those things. So I'll pay those inflated prices. I don't mind. It's part of the experience, sure. And the thing is, it makes the theater some money, and that's awesome. Now, where I draw the line, and this is where you lose my business. I'm going to call this company out. Cinemark, you guys suck. You guys you don't clarify things, and you do it wrong. That being said, here's what we did this past weekend. It was this past Saturday. Shannon and I were going to go to a movie. It was a new Rami Malek movie. I can't remember what it's called, but basically he was a CIA agent or whatever. We didn't go see the movie, bottom line. I opted to wait till it hits streaming services. I may change and go to a different theater, but that's because I know that Cinemark built a theater close to us, and I decided we're going to go from Megaplex to Cinemark because it's right here by us. It's less than a mile away. We can go see a movie. Boom, the theater's brand new, it's clean, and all that other stuff. So we did that. We did that for several years. It became our theater. I built up enough points, and it used to be. They must have made a change, and this is the part that irritates me. It used to be when they say, you have earned a free movie ticket. You got a free movie ticket. They didn't have fluctuating prices. I don't know where the fluctuation prices came from, but they got fluctuation prices now. So what irritated me why we didn't go see the movie was because I had a free movie ticket. So I'm like, okay, Shannon, I'm going to run inside. You just sit in the car and run inside, get our tickets for tonight, and then we'll go get some dinner, and then we'll head to the theater. This is where it all went wrong. And it irritates me. And it shouldn't irritate me, but it does. So went in. It wouldn't take. I tried to pay on the little machine without talking to somebody. Scanned my app. It came up. It was like, for 2 movie tickets, it was like $29. I'm like, well, that's not right. I got a free movie ticket. So then I walk over to the little area where the guy was working. And I said, hey, it's not showing my free movie ticket when I'm trying to check out. How do I fix that? He goes, oh, let me take care of it. Pulls it up, goes through it. Each movie ticket, just so you know, each ticket was supposed to be $11.75. $11.75. Comes up, and with taxes and all, it ended up being $22 and change. I said, where's the free movie ticket? He goes, you got a credit. I'm like, okay, but it says free movie ticket on the app. I've got enough points for a free movie ticket. So he goes, well, we gave you a credit of $8.99. I said, okay, but that's not the full amount. The full amount is $11.75. $11.75 times 2 is $23.50. That's before tax. I get it. I don't mind paying the tax. Government's got to get their piece, right? I'm like, so well, that's not a free movie ticket. He goes, yeah, but we give you a credit for $8.90. I said, okay, but it says free movie ticket. So he goes over and grabs manager. Manager comes over. She goes and she says, well, what we do is we give a credit of what a ticket would be. All right, what's the ticket would be? It's $11.75. She goes, no, but we have weekend prices. Okay, but I got a free movie ticket. I've paid full price for every ticket I've ever gone to in the theater. So why am I paying full price? Why am I paying more for a free movie ticket? She goes, well, we give a credit. So this would be normal day pricing, and we're on weekend pricing. So I said, okay, well, what's the price of a movie ticket, say Wednesday, when no one's at the theater at this same time, like at 6:30? She looks up. She goes, well, that's $9.75. I said, so basically, what you're telling me is the credit isn't even enough to pay for a regular normal day pricing movie ticket. So it's still not a free movie ticket. She goes, no, it's just a credit for $8.99. I said, but that's not a free ticket. I said, the app, I showed her the app. It says free movie ticket. Free. So that should be $11.75 on the weekend, $9.75 on a Wednesday. It should just cover the entire ticket. And she says, well, you'll just have to take this up with corporate. I said, okay, I'll take it up with corporate. I don't mind. She goes, you're leaving? I said, yeah, I'm not buying a ticket right now. She goes, but the ticket's only good for 30 days. I said, I know, 30 days. I said, and if I choose not to use it, then I lose the $8.95. Fine. So I'm going to say it right now. Cinemark, you've lost my business because you don't even specify in the app. You haven't made there's nothing that says it's a credit. What you should say is for every time you go see a movie at the theater, you'll get a credit for another ticket. Don't say it's a free movie ticket because that's just fraud. That's irritating. I don't like that. I don't think anyone likes that. I think you're just you guys are trying to appease your board and making make everybody more money off the backs of all the people who keep you in business. Yes, I pay for the inflated prices of candy, inflated prices ridiculously. It's to the point where I've seen people from your theater go to Target and buy the little hot tamales, the candies and Mike and Ike's. They'll pay retail there, which is like $1.25, to come to your theater, and they put them on the shelf. Like I literally saw them do that. And I asked the guy, "You're buying this?" He goes, "Yeah, we ran out, so we have to have them here." So you pay retail at the movie at the store. And then you turn around and you go mark them up to $6 at your theater. I get it. I'm paying way more than quadruple the price just to buy it from you guys. But that's what I do. When people like me come to the theaters, we go to that theater for the experience. But we don't want to be lied to. We don't want to be ripped off. If you offer us something for free, guess what? It should be free. Simple as that. So if I build up enough points, it's a point thing. I get it. You're rewarding your loyal customers, but you're not rewarding us with crap when you lie to us. So I'm going to say it. Shame on you, Cinemark. You should do better. You should do what you say. And because what's going to happen is you're going to see a buildup of people like me that are like, this is stupid. We'll just wait for it to come out on streaming. Because I've got a good TV. I got good surround sound. I can have my experience here at the house. Yes, I won't. I can lose the experience of going to the theater because you are making decisions that are hurting your business that does not reflect on what the common person wants to do. It's ridiculous. Anyway. All right. Well, I got a batch of emails. I'm going to do something a little bit different here on the emails. There's about 10 of them. I don't know if I'll get to all 10 of these. You guys, so bear with me. I've been trying to play catch up on emails. There's so many that come in, and I'm trying to make it where I get to everybody, but I can't always get to everybody. And so for that, I apologize. So some of these are pretty emotional driven. Some of these are pretty much straightforward. I'm Some are easy, some are hard. I try to pull a lot of, they're all important, but I try to pull the ones out that will hit just right, that I have time for. So if I miss you guys, I apologize, but I'll get to you. Anyway, let's get going. You know what hurts? You give everything to people, and then you finally need something, and it's silent. Hey, Devin. You know what hurts? When you show up for everyone else, but no one shows up for you. I've always been the one. I've always been the one people lean on, the fixer, the listener, the strong one. But lately, I felt invisible. When I finally needed someone, no one was there. Am I expecting too much? Or is it okay to feel abandoned by people who only claim to care? Brianna, here's the deal. You need better friends. You need better family. Now, that being said, don't expect anything from anybody. You keep doing the right thing and help people. And what we're going to do, because that's the right thing. Helping people is without any expectation is literally the right thing to do in life. Should people be there for you when you need help? Yeah, they should. They should be doing what you're doing. But people are not. Should that make you jaded and frustrated with the world? No. Just means that in many cases, you have to deal with yourself when no one else is willing to help you, and you just do it. Bottom line is, in this world we live in, if people can't step it up and help you when you need help, you got to help yourself. Your family should be there. Your friends should be there. But they always won't be there. And you have to start to figure out your life on yourself. It's a sucky way to think about it, but it can be done. If you know how to help other people, then you know how to help yourself. Now, if there's someone in your life, a family member or whatever, talk to them. I know a lot of times we don't really mention that we need help. So I'll give you, for instance, for myself. I hate asking for help. I do. Part of that is because I've been burned in the past, as you have, obviously. And so I stopped asking for help. We need to stop being that way. What we need to do for myself, and I tried to do this, I've tried to get out of my way and ask for help when I need help. Now, if I can figure it out myself, awesome. We need to be independent. We need to be self-sufficient. We need to do all those things. But we also need to learn to not get mad when people are not doing what you do. Because not everybody's going to do what you do. You know, for instance, I took a little side job. One, I did a life hack. The life hack is because things are getting expensive out there, I'm like, how can I make things cheaper? So I took a little side hustle job. I took a job where I get 15 to 25 hours over at the grocery store, and I get, paid for those hours, but I also get a discount on groceries. So if you want a discount on groceries, that's what you got to do. If you want to just go take a little side hustle job, find something the grocery store has a need for, you say, I'll do it every day or every 5 days a week, whatever, and I'll fill in the gap and it'll be done. Now, that being said, at my position at my job, I've got this cooler that keeps all the drinks. Every day I go into it and there's something new in there. Something that's not mine, something that should be on the shelf where it belongs in the cooler. And it's usually just sitting on a cart or sitting on a pallet. And it's not my place, not my place to put it away. It's not my job, but I do it anyway because it gets in the way of what I'm trying to do. And I guarantee the people that are leaving it in there, they don't care because it falls under the world of not my problem. I'll deal with it later. But they don't understand how it's an inconvenience for me. since I'm in there all the time, it's an inconvenience for anyone that has stuff in there to have their stuff in the way. But I deal with it, I fix it, I move forward. You just have to deal with it. You have to move forward, and you have to be happy. You can't just dwell on the garbage. And if people are not there for you, don't hold it against them. People just don't know. You got to tell them. All right. Most people don't want honesty. They want comfort, even if it's fake. Hey, Devin. Most people don't want honesty. They want comfort. That hit me hard. I've always been a truth teller, but lately, being honest feels like pushing people away. Friends, family, even my partner. They say they want real talk, but they get upset when I give it to them. Should I keep speaking my truth, even if it costs me relationships? Marcus. All right, Marcus. First of all, you need to get one thing through your head. There is no such thing as my truth. My truth is stupid. Anyone that says my truth, you got problems. Okay, so let's address that. There is the truth, and then there's the falsehoods and lies. Okay, my truth is just a selfish, narcissistic thing that people say to justify bad behavior. Okay, there you go. I'm being straightforward with you, and I'm telling you what it is, and you may get upset. Now let's address the other thing. We should always be honest. You say most people don't want honesty. You're correct. Most people only want to hear what they want to hear. They want things that make them feel comfortable. They don't want people to tell them the things that are real. They want to just be pat on the back and say, you know what? It's okay. You be you. Here, the reality is, if you're pushing friends and family away and your partner, truth is true. If you're speaking the actual truth, then maybe word it a little bit differently. Because there is a difference between getting punched in the face and a slap on the hand. Right? Would you rather be punched in the face if you were doing wrong? Or would you rather be slapped on the hand and then explain it in a better way? Okay? This is why I always tell people words are important. Meaning of words are important. All of that stuff literally is the most important thing in the world. So if you're actually legitimately telling the truth and you're telling factual things, you can be straightforward, but you can be kind. Okay? It's kind of like there's that study that everybody quotes. They're like, oh, people who say swear words have a bigger IQ. Read the study, people. You're not telling the truth when you say stuff like that. The truth is, when it comes to that, people who cuss or they say cuss a lot may have a bigger IQ. They say that because a lot of times people who are very intelligent, they understand where to put words and how to put words and how to intermingle with different types of groups. It's not that they just, by cussing, oh, I'm automatically smarter. That's what they want you to believe. But what that actually is they know how to intermingle with different people to be able to know to know how to connect with them. And if swearing is the deal, they swear. I've been trying to not swear. So I've been learning better things, doing better things, because I think the more intelligent you are, you understand bigger and better things, and you don't have to swear. So there's that. Here's the truth. Nobody tells you. Healing, it's not pretty. It's letting go of people you still love. Hey, Devin. Healing sucks. No one tells you how messy and exhausting it really is. I've been trying to work through some serious trauma, and honestly, it's breaking me more than I've fixed. It's breaking me more than it's fixing me. Or at least it feels that way. Does it ever get better? Or is it just what growth feels like? Tired of the process, Jess. All right, Jess, here's the thing. when you've been down, when you've been out, and you've done what, no matter what the thing is that you're trying to heal from, it can be hard, and it's going to be hard, and you're probably going to lose some friends along the way because they're doing things that you don't believe in, and you're trying to do better and not do the things that they believe in. You want to do things that are right. You want to follow along and live a life that's actually worth living and not worth just existing in. And if you want to live a life that's worth living, then you have to do those hard things. And yes, it may feel like it's going to break you, but it's that teeter point, right? I have a friend of mine from years ago that he was a very, very big drinker. Went down the wrong, I'd say the wrong path. I don't drink. I'm not saying drinking is bad for everybody, but honestly, your life is better without it, to be honest. But that being said, he said he went to the point where it was such a struggle that he was like, I'm just going to give in. And then, he was part of AA, and he said he would call his sponsor, and sponsor would be like, it's sucky, but you can do it. And then he would occasionally call me, and I'm like, dude, you got this. Just work hard. The harder it may feel, the more relief and distance you get from something. And I'm telling you, he always, even now, still has those cravings. But every little day is just a little bit better. Simple as that. So when you feel like you're breaking down, get on your knees and ask God for help. And I promise you, he will be there for you, and you'll get that help that you need. All right. The saddest kind of grief. Grieving someone who's still alive, someone who you still love, but don't recognize anymore. Hey, Devin. The saddest grief isn't always death. It's losing someone who's still alive. My best friend and I we used to be inseparable, but somewhere along the way, they changed. Now we barely talk. I miss them, but I don't even recognize who they are anymore. Is it okay to grieve that? Alana. Why did I get this email? Okay. Alana, here's the deal. Grief is done in different ways. I think grieving someone who's passed, who's died, actually is easier than grieving the loss of someone who's alive. Let me tell you a story. We have a son who has distanced himself from the family, and he blames me for every bit of it. I've even asked him, what did I do wrong? And I get nothing but F you, F this, cuss that. You're never going to see me again, blah, 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 blah. All this type, literally a long list of stuff. I know the problem, and I know why he is the way he is. And I know it's not me. I'm just that vessel of someone to blame. And I can tell you, it hurts because I love my son so much. But he's got himself in a spot in his life where he cannot acknowledge his own issues, and he has to blame someone versus take responsibility for himself. As a parent, you do the best you can to raise your kids correctly. You do the best you can to teach them the right things. We have a rule in our family: do the right thing, no matter what, even if it's going to hurt you. That's where our son falls into place. He's done some things that hurts him. and all of us, my wife, my other children, we grieve the loss of him, and he's still alive. But he's made choices. And a lot of those choices, because I've reached out to several of his friends that he doesn't talk to anymore because he's told so many lies about things that now he has to cover up the lie with another lie so he makes it into a bigger deal than it is. And all we want him to know is that, hey, we love you, son. Your brothers and your sisters, they love you. You can fix whatever you messed up. We don't hold it against you. And if there was something that you did towards us, we forgive you. I can tell you, I forgive you. So about your friend Alana, people go different directions. As long as you're doing the right thing and you're putting yourself in the right situation and the right stuff, it's sometimes okay it is going to be okay to move forward without them. Life moves on. Yes, you'll always have that element of hurt over here, but that will get better over time. Doesn't mean you stop loving them. It just means that you just keep on going. It's okay. Not everyone deserves access to you. If you drain your peace, that's not love. That's convenience. Hey, Devin. I feel like I've always given emotionally, mentally, and financially. And lately, it's hitting me hitting me that most of the people I pour into would never do the same for me. How do I set boundaries without feeling like the bad guy? Ray, here's the thing. Just set the boundary. Give when you can give. Hey, okay. It's kind of like if I've had people ask me for money, borrow money from me, and I don't loan money out ever, but I will give money. I never loan money out for the reason that I never want to set the expectation of, well, you decide to never pay me back. You never gave me my money back. You owe me this. I don't want to ever say someone owes me something. I always want to have it set up where I gave. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. All I'm saying is when you do the right thing, you don't do it because you set expectations of this. I'm not a bank. You're not a bank. So emotionally, don't give anything up that you're not willing to lose. When it comes to financially, don't give up anything that you're not willing to lose. When it comes to emotions or everything, just remember and keep to yourself. Don't be willing to give up something that you're not willing to lose. So if you're in a relationship, the thing is, I think a lot of men are this way. They keep themselves guarded now, especially how crazy it is in the world these days. Especially when it comes to trying to find someone to marry or to someone that's worthy of dating. You take a chance. When you get into a relationship, you take a chance, and that chance is to give up something. Take down some of those barriers because you're willing to give up something in hopes that you will get something in return. And usually that's emotionally, that's physically, that's everything. That's the key. You got to be willing to give up a little bit, right? Now, if you give up in a relationship and you give up something, and you took down a barrier and you've given them everything and they hurt you, it's going to suck. But it gets better. You can move on, especially if they break your heart. But you can get better. The bottom line is, as you said, not everyone deserves access to you. You only give them access to the things that you're willing to give up. Plain and simple. All right, let's see. What else we got? Let's do a couple more. This one says, forgive them, but also forgive yourself for staying, for believing love would fix it. Hey, Devin, everyone talks about forgiveness, but what about forgiving yourself? I stayed in a toxic relationship for way too long. I saw the red flags. I ignored them, and I've beaten myself up ever since. How do I let go of the guilt? Natalia. You stayed in the relationship for one because you thought there was something that you could fix. You thought there was something there that was exciting, and that's why you stayed in it. But you're out of it. You got to let go of the guilt. So the question is, what kind of guilt do you have? Is the guilt because you just moved, you went away? Okay, when you're dating someone, even in a marriage, sometimes you marry someone and you don't know what you're marrying because you didn't really you were attracted to the fun. You're attracted to the excitement of the relationship without going in detail and learning who the person really was. And sometimes people put up a good, wall, good face. They're like, oh, this is really me, when they're actually, the real me is over here. So there's that, right? Now, that being said, if you're feeling guilt for leaving a toxic relationship, stop it. You're feeling guilt because you feel like you've let them down. But if you stay in it, you're going to let yourself down, and you could possibly put yourself into some danger too. Because everyone deserves love. Everyone deserves to be treated right. And you can't always be that person that's giving that 100+% all the time when they're not giving crap. In a relationship, you're both giving 100%, and you're both working hard to make it happen. You're both doing the things that are there to make life that much better. And on the days that I'm lacking, my wife will pull up the slack. Because she knows if she does, then I can get back to 100. And then when I can get back to 100, then I can help keep her at her 100. And if she's on days that she's lacking, then I can pull up the slack and go that route. Like, for instance, yesterday, I have this thing that I like going to the gym. Trying to go to the gym more and more, like we should. And I signed both my wife up to go to the gym with me, right? She likes going to the gym. But we were supposed to go to the gym yesterday. Now, I could be that gym Nazi and say, hey, you're going to go with me no matter what's going on, blah, 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 right? But Shannon's at work, and while she was at work, she got spit on. Some guy came in, wanted an appointment. She couldn't give him the appointment until later on. He was like, I want one today. He was all mad, and then he spits on her. First of all, sir, if I find you, there's going to be a problem, okay? Second of all, it was just a rough day for her. So I could have said, let's go to the gym, which we probably should have gone to the gym. But I could tell that she was lacking. So I was like, let's go get a drink. No, we don't drink alcohol. Meaning, let's go get, and she was like, well, I don't really want much. What about a cranberry juice? I'm like, done. Drove to the gas station, got her a cranberry juice, got her a little snack. We grabbed Bentley. We went to the park. Bentley would run around. We sat down and we just talked. That was building her back up. If you're sad because you're feeling regret because you left a bad relationship, get over that guilt. Okay. Don't let them drag you down. Forget about what the things that they're saying, because what matters most is what matters to you, matters right now, and that's you. And if they didn't ever built you up and they were hurting you emotionally, physically, or whatever, you deserve better. So Natalia, you're going to be fine. Don't feel guilt. Forgive yourself for putting yourself in that situation and move on. You'll be okay. All right, last one. I hope you hear this when you need it. You're not a burden. You're a human being doing your best, and that's enough. Hey, Devin, I've been in a dark place. I don't know how to explain it to anyone, and I'm not even sure they'd care. I'm exhausted. Not from work or life, just from feeling alone. I don't have a question. Honestly, I don't even know. I just needed to write this. Trying to hold on, Jordan. Jordan, thank you for emailing me. I'm not sure what's going on in your life. Not sure why you feel like you're in a dark place. But I will tell you, people do care. I think you wrote to me because you knew I would respond. And you wanted someone to just acknowledge that you're there. I don't know what you're going through, but I want you to know, be happy. Smile. You are loved. No matter what's going on in your life, you are loved. People do care. They may not be around you. They may not say it, although they should. But you're going to be okay. Life is hard, but it does get better. Just keep going. Keep helping. Keep talking to people. See someone in need, help them out. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking someone, the simple thing of when you're at the grocery store and you see someone with their shopping cart and they're about to push the cart back. Say, hey, could I put that up for you? Grab it and put it away. Do the little small things. The little small acts of kindness. If you do that, I promise you, those dark times will get better. Those dark times will go away. I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ, and I'll tell you that right now. And I promise you, if you live a life like he led, like he expected us and he told us to live, you will be happy. Sure, I know I brought some religion into this, but it's true. It is. If you're in the service of everybody else, you're in the service of your God. And if you're doing service for people, you'll feel the things that you're missing in life. That I can promise you. So, Jordan, hang in there. Email me again. Anytime you want to just be heard, email me. I will always be here. As long as I'm alive, I'm going to keep doing this. So, seriously, I'll be here for you whenever you need it. Just reach out. Anyway. I appreciate you guys emailing me. I love the emails. Trying to figure out a better time to do this. Part of that is because I want to open up the phone line again. I want to have where people can call in and we can talk about things. I think that's important. Let me figure that one out. I appreciate everything you guys do. I love that you guys trust me enough to have this part of your life. I love the fact that you guys are, reach out to me for when you need something. If I don't get to you, I will eventually. Again, I get a ton of emails. So anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys later.
From heart to heart, pushing through when life falls apart. Raw and true, no hesitation, covering life without the reservation. Family roots and wayward